Joe Rogan just dropped a warning about the UK that has politicians panicking, and what he said about Keir Starmer is sending shockwaves across Britain. Welcome to Power and Policy UK, the channel where politics meets reality. We break down the stories shaping Britain's future, cut through the noise, and bring you the facts behind the headlines. If you care about power, policy, and what it really means for the UK, you're in the right place. Breaking news out of the UK today, as one of the world's most influential podcast voices has weighed in on British politics in a way that's already sparking intense debate. Joe Rogan has publicly criticized UK Labour leader and Prime Minister Keir Starmer, warning that the United Kingdom may be heading down what he described as an increasingly authoritarian path. The comments, made during a wide-ranging discussion on his podcast, have quickly gone viral, drawing reactions from supporters, critics, political analysts, and free speech advocates on both sides of the Atlantic. Rogan's remarks came during a broader conversation about government power, civil liberties, and the balance between public safety and individual freedom. While discussing recent UK legislation and enforcement policies, Rogan questioned whether Britain's political direction still reflects the democratic values it has historically championed. He pointed to concerns over speech regulation, protest laws, and policing powers, suggesting that these developments could signal a troubling shift away from open democratic norms. What made the comments especially explosive was Rogan's framing. He warned that the UK risks resembling a top-down control system rather than a liberal democracy, language that immediately caught attention online. Clips circulated rapidly, with viewers debating whether Rogan was exaggerating for effect or voicing concerns that many citizens already feel but struggle to articulate in mainstream media. Supporters of Rogan argue that his comments reflect genuine anxieties within the UK population. Over the past few years, Britain has seen stricter protest regulations, expanded surveillance capabilities, and broader police authority to intervene in demonstrations. Critics of these measures say they disproportionately affect dissenting voices and could chill free expression. From this perspective, Rogan's comments are not an attack on the UK itself, but a warning about where unchecked power can lead if citizens don't stay engaged and vigilant. On the other hand, defenders of Starmer and the Labour government argue that Rogan's comments lack context and oversimplify complex policy decisions. They point out that many of the laws in question were designed to address public safety, online harm, and national security threats. From this view, describing the UK as moving toward dictatorship ignores the role of Parliament, an independent judiciary, and democratic elections that continue to function as checks on power. Starmer himself has built much of his political identity around being a former human rights lawyer, which makes Rogan's criticism particularly striking. Supporters note that Starmer has repeatedly emphasized respect for the rule of law and democratic institutions. Critics, however, argue that leadership is judged by outcomes, not background, and that even well-intentioned policies can have authoritarian consequences if they expand state control too far. The controversy also highlights the growing influence of non-traditional media figures in shaping political narratives. Joe Rogan is not a politician, journalist, or academic, yet his platform reaches millions of people worldwide. When he speaks about international politics, it often sparks conversations that mainstream outlets later feel compelled to address. This raises broader questions about who gets to define political discourse in the digital age, and how opinions formed outside traditional media ecosystems influence public perception. In the UK, reactions have been sharply divided. Some viewers welcomed an outside perspective, arguing that international scrutiny can be healthy for any democracy. Others criticized Rogan for commenting on a political system he does not live under, suggesting that his American perspective may not fully capture the realities of British governance. Social media platforms have been flooded with clips, reaction videos, and fact checks showing just how polarizing the discussion has become. What's undeniable is that this moment taps into a larger global conversation. Across many democracies, citizens are debating how much power governments should have in times of uncertainty, whether due to public health crises, security threats, or online misinformation. The tension between collective safety and individual liberty is not unique to the UK, and Rogan's comments resonate precisely because they echo concerns being raised in multiple countries. For Starmer and his government, the episode is a reminder that political decisions are now scrutinized not only domestically but internationally, often in real time. Even commentary from outside figures can influence how a country's leadership is perceived abroad, especially when those figures command massive audiences. Whether or not one agrees with Rogan's characterization, the reaction shows that public trust and transparency remain critical issues for any modern government. As this story continues to develop, it's likely we'll see further responses from politicians, commentators, and civil liberties groups. Some may use this moment to push for reforms or clearer communication around controversial policies. Others may double down, arguing that strong governance is necessary in an increasingly complex world. Either way, the debate sparked by Rogan's comments isn't just about one podcast clip. It's about the future direction of democratic societies and how openly those questions can be discussed. This is one of those moments where the conversation matters as much as the controversy itself. Whether viewers see Rogan as a truth teller or an alarmist, his remarks have undeniably reignited discussion about freedom, authority, and accountability in the UK. And as public reaction continues to unfold, one thing is clear: the global spotlight on British politics just got a lot brighter. You've been watching Power and Policy UK. If you value clear analysis and real discussions on British politics, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you in the next breakdown.